Alex Redmond tore his bicep yesterday in pregame warmups, so he was out for the game obviously when he did that in warmups, and he's out for the remainder of the season. Ethan Carter had a concussion, so he'll go through the protocol this week. Just kind of what we went through last week with Auden Tate. See where he's at day to day. If he can clear the protocol, we'll see how that goes. So those were really the two that major ones that came up from the game. There was some other minor stuff that occurred. That will limit some guys through the week, but for the most part, those are the two major ones. The big decision coming for today is we're going to go back to Andy Dalton at quarterback. It's been tough. Both those guys over the course of the season. It's not an easy decision anytime we've had to make it, which has been twice this year. But it's in the best interest of the football team right now to do this and get Andy back out there. And we're going to face some good defenses here these next couple of weeks that present a lot of challenges and feel like he's going to give us an opportunity to win the game. And so that's the decision we settled on this morning.
What's the biggest reason for that? Is it because just easier for Ryan to take a step back at this point and it's just kind of becoming too much for him? Or?
I don't think it was ever too much for him. We've obviously had our challenges on offense, really regardless of who's playing quarterback. And, you can always say it's not fair to either one of those guys, the times they've gotten pulled. And you heard my thoughts on you got to give a rookie some time to play. And but as I really sleep on it and think through it, Andy gives us a great chance to go win a game here. And Ryan has done the things we've asked him to do. It's hard to be a rookie quarterback in this league, and he still has a really bright future here. And so it's you want to explain to him this doesn't change your future with us. It's been a tough stretch. It's going to continue to be a tough stretch this year. We know that, and just had to make the decision to put Andy back in there.
Your intention was for Finley to play the 8 games and evaluate him, and then obviously things unfold.
Yeah.
Is it a 1-week thing? Is it the rest of the season thing?
Well, I think I've put my foot in my mouth enough with timelines over the last 4 months that that I'm gonna, anytime you make a decision, you're trying to make it for the long term of the season. But again, I think I'd be foolish to make any comments like that.
Is it more he gives you that best chance to win and build momentum going into next year? Is that the biggest reason you want to see him out there now?
Yeah, we just want to win, and that veteran presence he has will certainly be helpful. Through all the things that we've experienced so far in offense, and he's got great experience. And again, we're facing a challenging coordinator this week who's got a lot of experience in this league and really challenges guys. And Andy will help us prepare for that. And again, we've always known Andy's a great quarterback. We made the changes for the reasons we needed to, and now it's time to give him another opportunity.
Andy's a quick decision maker in terms of getting the ball out of his hand, and Ryan, it's like not necessarily that he wasn't seeing it, but he didn't like what he was seeing necessarily. And so receivers not winning one-on-ones, do you feel the experience of at the quarterback position with Andy can handle that a little better?
It's not entirely possible to say. There was some challenges yesterday where, as you go back and watch the film, he was getting hit a couple times as he's throwing, or can't finish a throw that didn't look as obvious on the sidelines as it does when you watch the tape. And so, again, anytime this happens, you're not blaming the quarterback for what's going on. It's just we felt like this is what we need to do right now, and it is hard because there's been a lot of challenges for anybody who's been back there, especially this last game. We had some opportunities down the field, and sometimes you got a guy in your face, you're getting hit, and so those things have been challenges for us.
You've often talked about the balance between the here and now and the future. Does this decision maybe, you say something about next year that you need a quarterback?
No, I wouldn't. We approach this week. We're just focused on the Jets and what we got to do to win the game, and the other stuff takes care of itself later. But right now, this is decisions to help us beat New York.
I mean, some would say, geez, you might play yourself out of the number 1 pick if you do that. You go back to Dalton. Your response would be?
I'll let those people say that. We just want to win.
When you made the change, Andy wanted to be traded. Did you feel like he needed to mend any fences?
Andy and I have had many, many, many conversations since all that happened, before and after. And we've been on the same page. Andy's handled it as well as you could hope any veteran would. Wants to play, feels like he can help the team win, but at the same time was still a leader for us and went about things the right way when he wasn't the starting quarterback. And so it's, he and I have always had that relationship where we can be open with each other, and so appreciate that. And now we're back. We're relying on him to help us win games, and he's going to take that and run with it.
Do you think you run the risk risk of potentially losing the locker room if you didn't go back to Andy and you got a quarterback in there?
No, I think the team has understood everything we've done up to this point, and it's I always have an open door for those guys to come up and talk, and the times throughout the season people have felt like they needed to, they have, and they know that I'm going to be open with them, and so I feel like we're at a good place with the locker room, and have been throughout the whole season.
Running game is at a different spot than it was when Andy, was sat down. Do you think the running game change might help Andy as well?
Sure.
When he comes back?
Yeah, it's a quarterback's best friend, and so now that we've found a little bit of a rhythm there, it helps anybody who's playing, and so that is certainly a positive that's going to help him as we move forward. And
Do you anticipate that A.J. Green, with Andy coming back, would that have any effect on A.J. Green?
I don't believe it has any effect specific to who's playing quarterback. I think that AJ is just trying to get to a point where he feels comfortable going out there and playing in a game, and so far hasn't felt that.
Do you feel like he might potentially practice? What is the plan for his practice this week?
Day to day, we'll see. It's I don't want to make any comments 2 days from now, or what's today? My clock says Sunday. It's Monday. It's definitely not Sunday. 2 days from now, it's hard to say, because really tomorrow he may say I can go, or he may say he not. So no comment on that one yet.
So it's got nothing to do with, those are two separate issues.
Correct.
When you evaluate Ryan Finley's last 3 games, was the moment too big for him?
No. It's the whole unit has got to do a better job of helping any quarterback we have out there. The hard thing is to see the accuracy percentage when that doesn't paint the picture of what happened, and you go back and you watch every incompletion, and there's not a lot of quarterbacks that are going to complete some of those balls, to be quite frank with you. And so that part's difficult. It's just it's a tough situation for any quarterback to be in right now, and we're all facing challenges. When you score as few points as we have, really throughout the whole season, obviously, that it's on the whole unit to step up and do their job better, to help everybody play up to their full potential.
When you said the accuracy, what about the pocket awareness with Ryan?
I think it's been fine. It's one of those strip sacks for fumble yesterday was a screen. He's sitting there waiting. He's kind of double clutching because he's waiting. And so that's a tough one for a quarterback. You're anticipating throwing a screen. All of a sudden, the guard gets tackled by the defensive lineman. And so now the back's caught up. He's actually grabbing both those guys, the guard and the running back. And so that was, and then he gets hit and he fumbles, and that one's a tough one. And obviously the last one, you got to be better with the ball in the pocket there. But I think he's moved around well and felt the pressure and escaped when he needed to, and tried to find some plays down the field. And there weren't always guys open down the field. So he did a lot of things we were hoping he'd do in that regard.
When you're evaluating the quarterback, there's so many, like you said, extenuating circumstances. Andy doesn't have real good support in the run game. Ryan got better support. The defense started playing a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe in the last month when Andy potentially is back, AJ and John Ross come back. Now it's a different world. They're all different worlds. How do you compare apples to apples?
Yeah, you don't. You can't. You just got to make the decision and be confident with it and move forward, and know that it's in the best interest of the team, and hope that everybody's going to rally around it, and we're going to go get ourselves a win. But trust me, it's if you try to measure everything that's happened to us over the course of the season and measure this versus that, you got to throw it all out the window and just make a decision to go with it.
Do you feel like you have a good grasp of what Ryan Finley can and can't do after a 3-game stretch?
Well, yeah, I wouldn't say a full. It's hard, and I've made that statement before, and I've defended young quarterbacks, I think, as loudly as I could. I don't think you fully will ever know through 3 games, and maybe even through 8 games, what you have. But right now we had to make this decision, and so that's what we did, and we're going to move forward with it.
Is this a decision? Is this
Go
just a decision that the head coach makes, offensive coordinator, just the whole building team?
Well, I certainly measure everything that the coaching staff has to say, but it's my decision.
Okay.
How much conversation do you have with Mike and Duke and that whole group when you're making this too? Is this are they part of this decision as well?
I want them to know what we're thinking, and they're on board with everything we've decided to do as a coaching staff.
Was Jake a possibility? Was that discussed at all, Jake Olagawa?
No.
Will he still be third string?
Yes.
You said you have an open door policy. Did any leaders on this team come to you and request this?
No, not specifically about that. No. It's again, I think that the leadership has really stepped up, probably the last 5 or 6 weeks, just in a lot of different areas, getting their guys to meet extra as a position group, as a unit, I've just seen a lot of improvements from a lot of different areas. That's encouraging, and those are things we're going to continue to have to rely on and build upon as we build this thing. And but I think that the leadership, if you want to look at it over the scope of the season has gotten stronger as the season's gone, and that's certainly an encouraging thing for us.
Speaking of leadership, I noticed yesterday in the locker room, Joe going up to different guys, maybe 2 or 3, telling Tyler, remember what I said, which Tyler told us was keep his head up after that fumble.
Mm-hmm.
Is Joe maybe the emotional glue that's holding this team together, maybe one of your best leaders?
He certainly is passionate about winning and getting everybody to play their full potential, and he's been great. It's certainly been a frustrating season for him as well in the run game as we got started. It's gotten better lately, but he's one of those guys you can rely on, that it's important to him, and he wants to make sure it's important to everybody. And guys do look for him because he's a playmaker. You saw in that game there were a lot of runs that were pretty ugly, and we knew that going in. That's a really good defense, and there were some ugly runs that he got us out of and turned them into some good plays that really got us some momentum there on a couple of those stretches. And so certainly somebody we can rely on, and when he speaks, people listen.
Did Cody Glenn answer the bell?
I thought he played well. He gave up pressure there at the end of the game, but for his first game back, he did a nice job over there.
Given Andy's personality, does it make it easier to make a move like that? Because some guys, maybe you might have lost the guy right away, or
It just speaks to his character, really. I think everybody knows what that is, and it was hard for him to hear when we made the change initially, but just being the person he is, he's been someone I was able to communicate with the last couple of weeks, and he didn't just turn a cold shoulder to me and was in it to win. And during the games, he comes up to me with thoughts that he has from his perspective, and so I'm thankful that we had a guy like that to be in that position, and then now to turn back to and expect him to lead us and do some great things for this offense.
how was he today? What did he say today? What was his?
I mean, ready to answer the bell. Just happy to get another opportunity, and he was there for Ryan. He tried to help Ryan as best he could, and so we're fortunate that we had him in that position, and now he's ready to go again.
Your
Say Ryan
expectation,
handled it?
Go ahead, Paul.
I would
Sorry,
say,
I'll get back to
your expectation that Andy will be the quarterback for the last 5 games, that's what you want. You don't want to make any more switches.
Absolutely.
Ryan, how did he handle it?
As you could expect, he's a competitor. He wants every opportunity. It's hard to hear, but he still has a future here. He's a guy that we're still high on. That doesn't change anything I feel about him. It's just necessary for what we need to do right now.
When you look at what Ryan did over the 3 games, what's the thing that you probably wish he would have done better?
Well, it's hard. Like I said, I don't know. You can plug a lot of guys in there, and it's not going to be that much of a different outcome, really, the way that those games played out. And there's opportunities that every position missed, quarterback included, receivers, running backs, linemen, tight end. I mean, everybody played a part in it. And that's the one that's the easiest to see, obviously. When you make a change or want to point a finger, that's why I will always maintain it's the toughest position in sports, because they're going to take all the heat and they're going to take all the credit. But it's on everybody. And so there's nothing specific, I would say, that to answer that question.
Do you feel like as a group, the offensive line performed better in game 2 against Pittsburgh than they did in game 1?
Well, we didn't give up as many sacks, and we went into it knowing we weren't going to drop back and throw it nearly as much. And there's certainly some improvements we can make coming out of that game. I'm not going to heap a ton of praise on them. There were some good moments from them, but there was also some things that we got to improve on as a unit.
One more minute, please. With the injury to Redmond, I guess it must be a bicep attachment down by the
His left one.
Is that an elbow injury?
Yeah.
So it's a bicep attachment down there. So you got Cordy, and your offensive line, there's been some shifting and, musical chairs and getting that continuity going with the O-line. I mean, that's been a factor to adjust to as well, isn't it?
It's not easy. It's not, in the run game and the protections, passing off all the twists and things like that, certainly been a challenge. And some games have been better than others. But it's just something you got to continue to work through. And the guys that are out there, they got to get all the reps during practice, and they got to make sure we're on the same page. And nobody cares. No defense we play cares, how much they've been playing or what continuity they have. So we got to make sure that we're all on the same page and we get it figured out.
John Ross still on target for Cleveland, December 8th?
Yes.
Did Redmond tear his bicep blocking in warm-ups?
I don't know. We don't videotape that. It was, I think, the last rep he was in. I was standing right there as he came off and was grabbing his, whatever, his elbow, his bicep, and I could tell it was pretty significant. I mean, it was literally as we ran out into the tunnel, following the last kick we have, and so I just knew he was out, and then learned after the game he was out for the year.
I know you said he's day to day. Do you think AJ will play a game this year?
I don't want to make any predictions, because I've done that before, and we know where it gets me. I do think that he wants to play. I know that he wants to play, and that he's trying to do everything he can to get back on the field. And, as we've seen kind of through what he's had to do, he's practiced and not practiced, he's trying, and he's just trying to make sure he feels confident and it feels right before he goes out there and cuts. And I'm very confident that when that time comes, if he can play, he'll go out there and play.
Surgical repair for last one, is it a surgical repair? I mean,
Yeah, he's having. I think he's having surgery sometime this week, if I heard that correctly.